Hey guys, Digivoid Gaming here. So I got some more Bt12 gameplay with my roommate Sub here. He's playing Beelzemon on the left, and I'm playing Imperialdramon on the right. He went first. He did mulligan. I did not, so just keep that in mind. Hatches his egg. Digivolves from Impmon. I think he's like Bt2. And then plays I Mako for 3. Reveals the top 4. Yep. And adds the Impmon. Puts the rest at the bottom of the deck. And left me at 3. I draw for turn. I hatch my egg. I Digivolve for Vmon, draw a card. I play Davis for 4, put him to 1, reveal the top 3. And I add the Imperialdramon and the Wormmon. Pretty good start. I don't want to give Beelzemon players any more than 1 memory because sometimes that's all they really need anyways. So he starts, he promotes his Digimon forward. Digivolves for 0. And unfortunately he has nothing in his trash yet, so he can't recover anything. I was pointing out that it was too early for that card, but he kind of had to just to get more draws in. Then he Digivolved for 2 for Wizardmon. He was not done because the I Mako, and I kind of just moved the memory. So he actually goes back to 0. And then I realized it until he was putting the card on top. So he puts a Wizardmon on top of the security. And it goes to 0. Yeah, there you go. And with 0 memory, Digivolves into 3 for Balmon, draws a card, passes turn to me. Draw for turn, promote the Vmon. And with 3 memory, I do go into EX Vmon for 2, going to 1. I draw for Digivolve. Swinging with jamming for 1 check. I draw for the egg. Hits a miss memory boost. So that wasn't too lucky. I Hammer Spark, go back to 2. And I pay 3 to choke him back to 1, revealing the top 3. And I add the Vmon because I want to just keep on searching. I do have another Vmon in hand, so it's all good. And he's at 1 memory, even though he can gain 3 memory off the 1 from Mako and 2 from the Mist. So he Digivolves for Impmon in the back. Digivolves for Impmon X Antibody, draws another card. And he's at 1 memory. Swings over the XV. Then first with the Wizardmon, he gets to top deck 1 card. But which 1 card is he gonna put? The Slinger, of course. And then the Impmon trashes 2, so he gains a memory. Goes to 2. Unfortunately trashed the I Mako, but it's all good. Then he trashes 3 from the Balmon when attacking. He has the Barrage that he gets to put on the board while getting rid of my EXV. Now he's at 2 memory. He could potentially go to, what, 5? My gosh. Digivolves for 2, goes to 0. So now he's got a Wizardmon in the back and the raising. So glad that Barrage was in the security. Oh, it was trashed just now, so he can't really do anything with it yet. He ended up passing turn, so I go to 3. I hatch my egg. Digivolve for Vmon, draw another card. I drop the Vmon from the starter, reveal the top 3. Grab the Dino Beemon. Unfortunately, bottom decked the hidden potential there. Hammer Sparked went to 1. End up Digivolving for 2 for X Vmon and passing turn over to my opponent. He draws for turn, his Balmon suspends, promotes his Wizardmon. Digivolves for 0 for Wizardmon X. Draws a card, suspends Iron Maki. To top deck a card and gain a memory. So he goes to 2. And he wasn't supposed to trash that. He only gains blocker, but I didn't catch it until now, so it's okay. He gains the memory from the Wizardmon that he trashed as well. So he actually goes to 3. And he should have been at 5 here. What the hell? Well, to be honest, this whole play was kind of screwed up here, but it's all good. So he's at 4 memory when he should have been at 5. I don't know how he missed that. Digivolves for 4, goes to 0. Trashes the top 4, gains a memory from Deathslinger. Mills the top 3 from the Impmon. Hits the Beelzemon. He gets to play an Impmon, but there's no Impmon in his trash. Oh, actually, there is now. So he plays the new starter deck Impmon, the one that can warp. And everything gets trashed. So he still got 1 memory. Then gains 1 more memory from the Beelzemon. I honestly thought I was going to lose right here. Not this turn, but it was pretty damn close. So he does swing at security. 1 check. It's a blue memory and a Imperialdramon. Then puts the top card because of the Wizardmon. Gains a memory when he trashes 2. Because of the inheritable of the Impmon underneath the Beelzemon. Digivolves for 3 for Balmon. Goes to 0. Trashes the top 3. Gains a memory from the Slinger. Man, this is insane. But he's getting pretty close to decking out here. If he keeps this up. So he's still at 1. Swings in. Trashes the top 3. So first, he's going to play an Impmon from trash, from the Beelzemon. So he plays the EX2 one. And then the EX2 mills the top 4. And then bottom decks it. Oh no, he reveals the top 4, sorry. And then he mills 3. Gains another memory from the Slinger. Oh my god, that was insane. I'm getting PTSD from watching this all over. This was a pretty crazy turn. The second check was the Mega... Oh no, the check was a Mega Death. So I suspend the Impmon and I just bounce the Beelzemon. I don't want him to attack me the next turn with that Impmon, so I had to get rid of it. Digivolves for Beelzemon again. Puts me at 2. Trashes the top 4. Plays an Impmon from trash. But which one is he going to go for here? I think he's going to go for the EX2 again. Oh no, he goes for the old school one. I think he had like 30 cards in his trash here at this point. Yep, so he gains the 2 memory back, goes to 0. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do here. I do have a EXVmon in the back, ready to promote. I got blue memory boost, ready to pop. Digivolves into blast mode. And I promote, I trash that, I go to 5. I swing over the Impmon that can warp with the Vmon. Mega Death, suspend the blast mode and bounce it. I'm at 1 memory still. That Mega Death should have been done with already. I don't know why I left it there. Digivolve for 2 for XV again, and then that was it. He passed his turn. So at this point, he only has 2 Digimon, and he didn't have anything in the raising area yet, so that's why I passed turn. I figured I might just survive this turn. His is Mind Mako unsuspend. And he forgot to hatch apparently. Honestly, this game was pretty insane. He just wasn't really... Well, he was trashing a lot. He was doing a lot of things here, as you guys can tell. So he did forget to hatch. Digivolves for 0. Draws a card. Suspends Iron Mako to keep himself from losing. So he's just going to top deck 1 card. The Rivals. Gains a memory, goes to 3. I'm so glad I got rid of that other Impmon that can warp, because that would have been game, I believe. So regardless of what he tries to do here, if he Digivolve, he's going to deck out. He has like literally the majority of his deck in there. So he swings at security, hits a Stingmon, so it dies. Why is it still on the board? Pays 3 for the Warp Impmon. He has the Rivals there that he can recover 1 with. So that's what he ends up doing. Pops it, adds back the Beelzemon. Passes turn. I'm at 3. Digivolve for Vmon. Hard drop Stingmon for 3. A DNA for Dino Beemon here. I gain a memory for DNA from the EXV. And then since I DNA, it suspends a Digimon. It gains 3,000, and then I can swing at it. He thought I was gonna let that live. I draw for the egg and the Stingmon. And then to end the turn here, I hard drop Stingmon for 4. And then at the end of turn, I DNA because of the inheritable of the Wormmon. I gain a memory from the Stingmon. So I put him at 3. And then I bottom deck the Impmon he had there. But I don't know why he put it at the bottom of his trash. But at this point, it didn't really matter anyways, because he didn't hatch his egg. And well, he did actually. He would have just drew right there. And he knew he was going to lose anyway. So he ended up giving up. And that was the end of the first game there. It was pretty clunky, but we got it. Going into second game, I did not mulligan. He did not either. He went first. He hatches his egg. Digivolves for X Antibody Impmon. And then passes by playing Iron Mako for 3. Reveals the top 4. And he does add the Beelzemon from EX2. And then passes over to me. So I draw for turn. I'm at 3 memory. I hatch. Digivolve for Vmon, draw a card. Play Davis for 3, go to 0. Play Vmon for 3, reveal the top 3. Now add the Lydramon. And then pass turn to him. Use that 3 memory. So I decided to play the Davis because I was going to gain a memory. And then he Digivolves for Wizardmon for 2, goes to 1. Because at the start of the turn, you're going to gain a memory from the Davis. And he comes into play when it comes to other things like swinging in with my Imperialdramon or Dynabemon and being able to Digivolve into Dragon while doing so. Because that's what he does. So once he passed turn here, it was just insane. Like the amount of advantage I had just from having, I want to say, mainly the jamming Vmon, because I opened up with that. I mean, as you guys can tell, I showed you guys 3 cards that I opened up with, and the 4th card was the Ice Wall, and the 5th card was a Imperialdramon. So I already had pretty good start. He paid 4 for the X Antibody Impmon. I promoted. I gained the memory from the Davis, but I didn't do it right there. But I was supposed to gain it anyways. And I did swing in with the jamming Vmon, and I drew in for the egg. I was confused because he did put me at 3, but for some reason I thought he was at 0. So regardless, I was at 4. I Digivolve for 2 for XV. I swung in for 1 check. It hits an Iron Mako, reveals the top 4. Adds the Beelzemon, the rest go to the bottom. And here I Digivolved for 2 on top of Vmon for Lydramon, suspending the Impmon. And then this is practically where I went off. So I DNA Digivolved for Imperialdramon. Drew for DNA. Bottom deck the Impmon. I swung in with jamming, drew 1 for the egg and for this. I know, I just drew 1 for the egg actually. I played Hidden Potential, suspended the Imperialdramon, went into Dragon mode from the starter. And then brought out the XV and the Lydramon, since it's half red. I mean, since it's half green, half blue. Ended up DNA Digivolving for it. For Bt12 Imperialdramon, drew another card. I did swing a security because they had jamming. And it was just 1 check. And then ended up turn with Ice Wall. And that was the key play right there, really. Because the next turn, there was, I mean, you guys can tell right there. That was just insane. And I can pull this off even without the Ice Wall. The Ice Wall was just the icing on the cake, really, because it chokes him out. And it's over to him. He's at 1 memory. I think he does promote the Wizardmon. He just kind of like took a little bit longer than most people do, I guess. So there it is. He promotes it. And all he has underneath that is the X Antibody Impmon, I believe. Which does trash too when you attack, so. Digivolved for 3 for Beelzemon. And then suspended Iron Mako to top deck 1 card. Gained the memory. And then suspended the other Iron Mako. I think he top decked the Slinger. Because he's going to mill 3 right now anyways. So he's going to go to 0 here. Yep, puts another Stinger. 1, 2, gains 2 memory. Goes back to 2. So once he swings in, he can mill another 3. But he's going to lose 2 memory because of the Ice Wall. So he had to, I don't think he remembered that part. So he goes in for 1 security check. Mills the top 3. He gains a memory. And then he loses the 2 memory that he got And it's a Davis. I reveal the top 3. I add Dino Beemon and Vmon. So he would have gone to 3, but he lost 2 memory, so he just went to 1 anyways. Because 1 was from the Deathslinger and 1 was from the Wizardmon. So the Ice Wall came in pretty clutch right there, to be honest. And at this point, all you can do is just Digiball for Beelzemon for 3. And trashes the top 2. There's nothing there. Passes over to me. I go to 3 and suspend. I hatch my egg. I gain a memory. I Digiball for 2 for fighter mode. I bounce the dragon. Let's swing in for 2 checks at 15. And then swing for a game for Imperialdramon. And now it's the game.